This is a segment where we take a look at a board game based on an IP, and I tell you if the IP and the mechanisms work together. Today we're looking at Bill and Ted's A Rift in Time, the most excellent board game. Let's take a look at how it plays. I'll come back and tell you what I think. I'm going to give a real quick overview of the game. You're going to be playing as Bill and Ted and his wives as you're trying to deliver historical figures back to the places listed on here. For example, Babe Ruth needs to go to New York. When you're able to send Babe Ruth down to New York and get the Rift down to 0, you will have fixed that. If you're able to fix all of the locations before San Dimas gets to 20 or the Rift deck lines out, then you win. Those are your 2 lose conditions. On your turn, you're going to draw a Rift card and do something each turn, which will normally move one of the dial up on the Rift. Then you will roll the dice that have been assigned to you. You can gain additional dice by carrying historical figures and do the actions on them. There are bad actions like the Bogus, which will raise Rifts, or you have movement, which will move you around the board, or interacts, which will allow you to pick up historical figures, deliver them, and decrease the Rift at locations. This is a cooperative board game where the players are working together to try to fix the time discrepancies that they've created by going throughout time and moving these historical figures. Bill and Ted is really just a great franchise from my youth. I think most people kind of love it, even though it has some questionable things in it nowadays. I don't think everybody would be on board for if they watched it again. But this is a cooperative board game where the players work together pretty much to play out the first movie. And that means the IP and the mechanisms work great together. It's all been abstracted out of how you're turning the dials and fixing the rifts, but you're taking historical figures, you're picking them up, and you're taking them back in their time and closing any rifts that you've created, and I think it works brilliantly. You got variable powers, you've got a cooperative nature, you get the dice restriction of actions, which actually works here because it's very flexible, and you're getting better dice and better actions as the game goes on, and the game kind of ramps up its tension as you're closing these rifts. You're going to be flying through that card deck more and more, so it all kind of works together in a nice little package. It's a family-weight game. It brings the IP in, and we had a great time playing it. And if you're a fan of Bill and Ted and you like doing air guitars, this is definitely something you want to add to your collection. We've had a blast with it.